You ever walk past someone on the street wrapped in newspaper and think they've lost it? Turns out, they might actually be warmer than you are right now. And they're doing it for less than the price of a gas station coffee. People with nothing have figured out heat in ways that most homeowners never will. The science behind it is completely real, and it makes your expensive space heater look bad. Your body is already producing about 100 watts of heat every single hour. That's roughly the same output as an old incandescent light bulb running constantly. The problem isn't that your body isn't making enough heat to keep you alive. The problem is that you're losing it faster than your body can produce it. Cold doesn't just sit there passively making you uncomfortable, it actively steals your warmth. It does this through 3 different pathways that all work together against you simultaneously. Conduction happens the moment your body touches anything colder than you are. Heat moves directly from your skin into that cold surface almost immediately. Convection is wind stripping away the warm air layer hovering right above your skin. It replaces that warm layer with fresh cold air in a constant endless cycle. Radiation is your body throwing infrared heat into the surrounding space whether you like it or not. The people who've mastered surviving cold without money figured out one crucial thing. You don't need to generate more heat because your body is already a furnace. What you actually need to do is stop the bleeding and trap what you already make. Hack 1. Newspaper and cardboard. Newspaper sounds like a joke for insulation, but it's a surprisingly decent material. All those tiny air pockets between the paper fibers trap warmth right next to your skin. Stuff crumpled newspaper under your jacket and you've created a layer of dead air instantly. Dead air doesn't move, which means convection can't strip your body heat away anymore. People layer it inside jackets, inside pants, and even inside their shoes in extreme cold. Cardboard works even better because it's thicker and has more physical structure to it. Line any sleeping spot with flattened boxes to stop conduction from the ground below you. The earth acts like a thermal sponge, quietly drinking your warmth all night long. A few layers of cardboard between you and the ground cuts that heat drain almost completely. Both of these materials are free, available in any city, and most people walk right past them. Hack 2. The alcohol-can stove. If you need to actually generate heat, the alcohol-can stove is where you start. Take 2 empty soda cans and cut them down to about 1 inch tall each. Use a thumbtack to punch a ring of small holes around the rim of 1 can. Nest the 2 pieces together to form a sealed chamber with a small opening on top. Pour in some isopropyl alcohol. The 70% kind from any pharmacy works perfectly fine. Light the fuel pooled in the center and wait about 30 seconds for it to prime. The alcohol vaporizes inside the sealed chamber and shoots out through the holes as flammable gas. It ignites into a clean blue ring of flame that burns at extremely high temperatures. A $3 bottle of isopropyl alcohol from any pharmacy gives you hours of burn time. That same bottle costs less than the tip you leave at a sit-down restaurant. The energy density of isopropyl alcohol is around 7,000 BTUs of heat energy per pound. You just built a working stove from 2 pieces of trash most people throw away daily. Hack 3. Sterno. Sterno is the more refined version of this, and it's easier to find than most people realize. Restaurants and catering companies throw away half-used cans constantly because replacing them is cheaper than tracking them. Check the dumpsters behind banquet halls or catering kitchens and you'll find them more often than you'd think. Each can burn for 2 to 6 hours with consistent heat output the whole time. The methanol variants burn hotter but produce more carbon monoxide, so crack a window when using them indoors. Hack 4. The candle and terracotta pot. Candles are another heat source that almost everyone completely underestimates in a real survival situation. A single tea light releases around 100 watts of heat energy as it burns down. That doesn't sound impressive until you trap that heat in a small enough space properly. Place 2 or 3 tea lights under an upside-down terracotta flower pot from any garden store. The clay absorbs all that heat and radiates it back outward slowly and steadily for hours. It works like a miniature space heater, releasing stored warmth long after the flame actually goes out. That's thermal mass doing exactly what it's designed to do, storing energy and releasing it gradually. Hack 5. Reflective surfaces. There's one more trick that ties all these heat sources together and makes them significantly more effective. Any reflective surface placed behind your flame directs the heat toward you instead of away from you. Aluminum foil, a steel can, or even a crumpled piece of shiny packaging works as a reflector. Position it on the far side of your stove so infrared heat bounces directly toward your body. You're not generating more heat, you're just stopping half of it from being wasted into the air. That one adjustment can make a small flame feel twice as effective in a tight shelter. Hack 6. The bottle trick. The bottle trick is one of the most practical heat hacks you can actually use anywhere. Fill any container with warm liquid and tuck it against your core or near your feet. Water has an incredibly high specific heat capacity, meaning it holds onto warmth for a long time. Once that water is warm, it stays warm far longer than air or fabric ever could. Some people use fresh urine for this because it exits your body already at 98 degrees. Before you dismiss that, understand it's the exact same physics as a reusable hand warmer. When frostbite is creeping into your toes, pride matters a whole lot less than your extremities. Hack 7. Brick thermal batteries. Bricks take the thermal mass concept and scale it way up for heating a larger space. Dense ceramic holds heat far longer than metal or wood once it's been properly warmed through. Place 4 or 5 bricks around your heat source for about 30 minutes to charge them up. Then distribute those heated bricks around your sleeping area to create sustained radiant warmth for hours. You've just turned 30 minutes of fuel into several hours of heat without spending anything extra. One important warning though, never heat rocks pulled directly from a riverbed without drying them completely first. Moisture trapped inside wet rocks turns to steam fast, and that can cause the rock to explode. Hack 8. Cover your head. Most people focus on their body and completely forget that the head is a massive heat leak. Your scalp has an extremely high concentration of blood vessels running very close to the surface. That means heat escapes through your head at a rate that's totally out of proportion to its size. Covering it with literally anything, a bag, newspaper, a balled-up shirt, makes a real measurable difference. Homeless populations in cold climates almost always have something on their heads, and now you know why. Even a single thin layer over your head can meaningfully reduce your total body heat loss overnight. Hack 9. Breathe through fabric. Every breath you exhale sends warm, moist air out of your body and into the cold around you. That's your internal heat literally escaping through your mouth and nose all night while you sleep. Breathing through a scarf, a piece of cloth, or even your raised collar recaptures some of that warmth. The fabric traps heat from your exhaled breath and pre-warms the air you breathe back in. It's a small adjustment that adds up significantly over the course of a full cold night. This is the same reason a balaclava is one of the most effective cold weather tools ever invented. Hack 10. Vapor barrier socks. One of the most overlooked cold feet hacks out there costs absolutely nothing and takes 10 seconds. Put a plastic bag over your first pair of socks before sliding on a second pair. The plastic barrier stops moisture from your skin evaporating and cooling your feet from the inside out. Wet feet in cold temperatures lose heat dramatically faster than dry feet at the exact same temperature. Evaporation is one of the 5 heat loss pathways, and your feet are especially vulnerable to it. Homeless populations in northern cities have relied on this trick for decades because it genuinely works. Hack 11. Use your body heat strategically. Your own body heat is a resource that most people waste without even thinking about it carefully. 2 people sharing one sleeping bag stay significantly warmer than 2 people in 2 separate bags. You're doubling the heat output inside the same insulated space and cutting heat loss per person in half. Animals figured this out millions of years ago, which is why penguins huddle in massive tight colonies. Humans are biologically no different. We're just weird about personal space even when it's hurting us. If you're alone, the fetal position is your best friend when the temperature drops seriously low. Pull your knees up to your chest and wrap your arms tight around your legs. That minimizes your surface area and directly reduces how much heat you're radiating into the surrounding air. Less surface area exposed means less conduction, less radiation, and a more stable core temperature all night. Hack 12. Block the wind. Wind is the multiplier that turns uncomfortable cold into actually dangerous cold very quickly. Moving airstrips heat off your skin far faster than still air at the exact same temperature. Plastic sheeting taped over broken windows or wall gaps can make an unheated room feel meaningfully warmer. Stopping wind is sometimes more valuable than generating more heat from an additional source entirely. Bubble wrap is even better because it gives you both a windbreak and an insulation layer at once. You can usually find it discarded behind shipping stores or inside boxes from any online delivery. Tape it against the inside of windows with the bubbles facing inward to trap air against the glass. Hack 13. Know where the heat already is. Every city is full of free heat sources that most people walk straight past without noticing them. Subway grates and underground ventilation shafts push warm air up from below 24 hours a day. Building HVAC exhaust vents on the sides of structures release a steady stream of warm air constantly. 24-hour laundromats, transit stations, and hospital lobbies stay warm through the entire night reliably. Homeless populations in every major city mentally map these locations the way most people map coffee shops. Knowing where the heat is already coming from is sometimes better than trying to create it yourself. You're not generating warmth, you're just positioning yourself to take advantage of warmth that already exists. Hack 14. Eat before you sleep in the cold. Most people focus entirely on external heat sources and completely ignore the internal furnace they already have. Your body generates that 100 watts of heat by burning calories, and cold makes it burn significantly more. In freezing conditions, your metabolism can spike by up to 50% just to maintain core temperature. That means food is literally fuel for your body's heating system, and skipping meals in cold is dangerous. High-fat foods like peanut butter, nuts, or cooking oil give you the most energy per gram consumed. Eating a solid meal before you sleep in the cold gives your body the fuel it needs overnight. A full stomach working through digestion generates real heat that keeps your core temperature stable for hours. Now here's what makes all of this hit different when you actually do the math on it. Your electric space heater runs on power that started its journey at a coal plant somewhere far away. That energy got converted to electricity and traveled through miles of transmission lines, losing heat the whole time. By the time it reaches your wall outlet, you've already lost 60 to 70% of the original energy. You're paying full price for that fuel but receiving less than half of what you actually paid for. An alcohol stove has no conversion chain, no transmission losses, and no infrastructure that can fail on you. The chemical energy in that $3 bottle converts directly to heat right in front of your face. And every single technique in this video costs less combined than 1 month of your electricity bill. That's not an opinion, that's just thermodynamics doing what it always does regardless of price tags. The newspaper guy you walked past this morning wasn't crazy. He was applying real physics to a real problem. He just didn't have the luxury of buying an expensive solution and calling it a day. Drop a comment telling me which of these hacks you already knew before watching this video. And let me know if you've actually used any of them when things got cold and serious. Subscribe because the next video applies this same framework to water, and that hack is even more surprising.